Welcome to RE Uncut. Our daily shows are supported by Printforce, Shore Agents, Rockend and CoreLogic.
Hello and welcome to the show. My guest this week is Doug Driscoll. Doug is from Star Partners, and we're going to be talking about the environment we're currently working in. We've called this series The End Game because I want to very much focus on, one, where we are now and where we need to be when we come out of this situation. Doug Driscoll with me in just a moment.
Your business card is a vital selling tool and a constant visual reminder of who you are, what you do, and more importantly, how you can be contacted. Introducing our new Velvet business cards, featuring a luxurious premium laminate that has a velvet texture and is soft to the touch. Printed on a resilient 450 GSM card, these cards can be printed with a range of spot gloss and foiling options to give your office that prestigious look.
Welcome back, and we say a very warm welcome to Doug Driscoll from Star Partners. G'day, Doug. We got you in front of that beautiful setting once again.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's actually a wall mural, not one of these fancy backgrounds on Skype or Zoom, actually. So that's a permanent fixture. I wish I was actually there, though, not just be a wall painting, of course.
Yeah, I have the luxury of shooting in front of a green screen, so we can put me anywhere we like. And if I had a choice, I'd pick somewhere like where you are. Hey, Doug, it's ironic, isn't it? Because we're in a very difficult situation. We're talking about now having to have, remote conversations and remote open homes. And you and I struggled to get this internet connection so we could actually do this interview. It just highlights to me how everything has changed, Doug. It's quite amazing, isn't it?
It is. I mean, what with 4G and now 5G and the NBN, who would have thought in 2020 we'd still have connectivity problems? But I think, dare I say, there's a lesson there, and I know we'll unpack that perhaps later in the week when we start talking about auctions being streamed live. But it's just quite incredible that it's taken us kind of half an hour, 45 minutes to get onto Skype. And I would like to point out to those watching this, it's not that Kevin and I are Luddites. It was a problem with the software rather than the people. They do say a bad trade person blames the tools, but it's very true. So it's incredible to think we're having these problems even in this day and age.
Well, what I want to talk about is a nice segue into, hey, we've got to become adaptable, but we can do that by making sure we control the controllables. Tell me about your business, Star Partners, Doug. How have you adapted to this new environment?
Well, I think every real estate business up and down the country is struggled. In fact, most real estate businesses across the world are now in the same position. And I think you're right. Controlling the controllables. The expression that I say over and over again is that you can't control the wind, but you can control the sails. So our focus is just that, on the things that we can actually have an influence over. I think the first thing I'd start by saying is that I think we actually have to have a position of gratitude. As crazy as that sounds at the moment, we are still open for business. Yes, we've had to change and adapt to a new environment, but if you look at our closest cousins being likes of New Zealand and the UK, they've had to put the gone fishing sign on the front door. They as an industry are absolutely shut down. Yes, the volumes have dropped, but we still can transact real estate. But we've had to make the normal adjustments everyone has in regards to the directives around public gatherings, so there's no front yard or on-site auctions. Obviously open homes, we can't do those anymore, but really that's a mild inconvenience by comparison. But what we've had to do is lean very heavily on technology, of course. Our preference is always kind of belly to belly, face to face, but again, clearly that's not possible, so we're having to utilize the various tools that we have at our disposal.
Tell me about some of the initiatives that you probably have had to implement in your business. Are there many?
Yeah, look, I mean, we've always had, I think, a very forward-thinking, progressive mindset as an organisation. We'd like to think we're quite innovative, so we have a lot of these things there anyway. But some of the new initiatives that we've been using well, certainly in this particular market, we've lent heavily on things like virtual tours, the panoramas, obviously videos, clearly, interactive floor plans where you can drag and drop furniture into the floor plan to see whether various things fit, photo styling where you can obviously touch on a kitchen bench top or a kitchen cabinet and change the colours and styles and these kind of things. We also have VR headsets as well, and we've been using those for sort of a couple of years, but most of them have been stuck in a cardboard box in the cupboard. But I mean, I've got one here, sat here. This is how they come. They're very much akin to the likes of Google Cardboard, which I know a lot of people are familiar with. And then when you unpack it, it looks like one of these, and you just stick your mobile phone in the front, and then lo and behold, virtually you're at the property. That is by far and away the closest to an actual inspection as you're ever going to get. So we've been nimble, we've been very agile, and we've adapted very, very quickly. So I'm very proud of the people on the front line in my organisation.
This raises a very interesting point. I was talking to someone just the other day about it, and just harking back to those. What was it you held up then? The goggles.
Yeah, the VR headset. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that they'd been in a cupboard for some time. Obviously, you had planned to move down this path and engage in that kind of technology. But isn't it interesting that we've been forced in this environment to take on technology a lot faster than we probably would have done?
Well, I think this whole situation really has forced us in industry to be very introspective and take a good, long, hard look at ourselves. And we've been forced, as you said, to challenge the status quo. I think if there's any good to come of all of this, it will be that we will have more tech-savvy processes and more streamlined processes. I think there's far too much stuff that we do that's still manual, and a lot of that can be automated. But in regards to virtual reality in particular, I don't think anything replaces getting up and getting out and looking at a property on a Saturday afternoon. That kind of tactile experience, the look, the feel, the touch, the smell. People like to engage their senses. So this is perfect for this environment. But as we move out of this crisis, it'll be interesting to see whether there is a wider spread adoption, or will we revert to type. But I think there's some valuable lessons that we're currently learning.
Yeah, maybe we'll go a long way out to come halfway back, which is sometimes what happens, when you stretch your rubber band. It probably never goes back to where it was before, but I don't know if that's the analogy we should be using. But I certainly think things are going to change, and we're probably having to adapt to technology much faster than we would have ordinarily done. Hey, Doug, we've spoken today about the things we can control. I guess even more insidious are the things that we can't control, like subsidies and what the federal government may be doing and so on, and the impacts of unemployment. That's what I'd like to talk to you about tomorrow, is how should we be reacting or adapting to the things that we have no control over. So, Doug, thanks for your time today. Look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Kevin.
The daily RE Uncut shows are supported by Printforce, Shore Agents, Rock End and CoreLogic. RE Uncut is one of the anchor shows at retplus.com, the home of property.